Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to the Black Financial Report for the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. We've got an election coming up this week. I assume you guys know about that. Give me a yes or no in the chat, or state who you plan to vote for in the election. Do you plan to vote for Trump, Biden, no one, Mickey Mouse? Maybe you're going to vote for MC Hammer or Marcus Garvey to be president of the United States. I'm not sure. But let me know who you're going to vote for, and say something in the chat. So here's the deal. Here's what's going on. Right now, you're in the middle of a very interesting situation where the market is liable to go in either direction. Right now, you're prepared. You're the calm before the storm when it comes to the stock market. Because the reality is that nobody knows exactly how this election is going to turn out. Everybody is kind of wondering what's going to happen. And here's one thing I can tell you for sure. When it comes to the stock market and next week's performance, I would be absolutely stunned if there wasn't a tremendous amount of volatility. I'd be blown away if there wasn't volatility all over the place. Because America's a volatile country right now. America's a country that's filled with uncertainty. America's a country that is filled with fear. You have the virus thing happening kind of in the background, but then you also have this big election coming up, which wasn't supported. The markets and the economy in general. It's not just about the markets, it's about the economy too. The economy wasn't supported by a stimulus package like it should have been. So here's where we are right now. Let me just tell you this. Here's one great thing you might be happy about. If Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, all of you who are investors are going to do well. All of you who are investing are going to make a ton of money. So clap for yourselves. You're going to get rich. Good for you. Here's the other piece of good news. The other good news is that if Joe Biden wins the election and becomes president of the United States, then all the investors in the room, everybody who's invested in the stock market is probably going to do well. You're all going to make money. So clap for yourselves. Give yourselves a pat on the back, round of applause. Yay, way to go. Good for me. Ooh, yahoo. Right? Here's the bad news. The bad news is that if and when election night ends, and if and when the country doesn't know who the president of the United States is, if and when Donald Trump throws a temper tantrum if he doesn't win the election, or if and when there's chaos if Donald Trump does win the election, the liberals and the conservatives are both acting a damn fool right now. That's going to probably hurt your portfolio, at least in the short run. So basically, confusion is the word of the day. Confusion, chaos, uncertainty. That's what's going to make a mess of this market. So thank you, Patricia, for the kind words. But I'll also say this too. If you are a long-term investor, I don't see why you wouldn't be fine. So the lack of a stimulus package was terrible. It was an absolute failure on the part of these ridiculous politicians that we have out here who pretend to actually do things for the American people, but actually don't. The Fed is probably up to its neck in terms of trying to figure out ways they can actually do what Congress should have done. Congress should have passed the stimulus, but they didn't. So the Fed is thinking, what do we do? Do we, we can't really lower interest rates anymore. We don't really know, what else we could do. We could do some monetary policy moves and increase the money supply or whatever. But all these quantitative easing measures and all this other stuff, they're kind of running out of tools. They're not going to do much of anything except maybe use their words, use their language. Their language affects how the market feels. So they may soothe the markets the way a mother soothes their child when he's in pain and his teeth are hurting and because the dentist didn't do their job. The mother maybe sings to the baby or whatever. So the Fed is meeting this week, and the Fed is probably going to sing to the economy and try to get people to calm down and keep the markets from getting out of control, and try to stop the ensuing chaos, which I think is coming anyway. I just think it's coming. I think you're already in it. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. So you just got to hold on tight as you ride the roller coaster. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. Also, you can text the word Boyce to 31996 and get notifications from me. I will send you a notification. Text Boyce to 31996 you will get a notification when we do election night coverage. On Tuesday, I decided that I wanted to do election coverage and use my platform to allow Black people to become more informed. So I'm bringing in Black experts. I'm bringing in the types of Black people that you won't see on TV. I don't trust the people I see on TV. I trust the people that we know. So I'm going to bring in some really smart Black people, and we're going to have a really great conversation over the election. A couple more thoughts that I had that may help you guys is right now a lot of people are looking at some of these big tech stocks, and there's a debate about whether or not the big tech stocks, namely companies like Apple, particularly Apple, Google, and Amazon, and then to some extent Facebook, not so much Netflix. These are the FANG stocks, FAANG, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. And then you could throw in Microsoft. I think Microsoft deserves to be included. Some consider the tech stocks to be a great buying opportunity because these are just the strongest companies ever. These companies are going to become the big Mac daddies. Remember the movie Friday and Big Worm ran the whole neighborhood? Well, the FANG stocks are going to be the big worm of the post-COVID economy. We're going back into a second wave, which some think could actually lean us even further toward these tech stocks, these stay-at-home companies, these companies that can make money in the cloud. They can make money on the ground. They make money in the cloud. They make money in outer space. They're making money everywhere. Amazon's going to get money everywhere they go. So some people believe that these companies are a buy because they too were punished when you had the recent uncertainty in the recent market downturn. I believe that. I actually loaded up on Amazon, and once I clear up some cash, I'm going to load up on some Apple. So if you want some stock picks, there you go. There's a couple of them. And by the way, if you want to see, a lot of my stock picks and also learn how the market works, feel free to join the Black Stock Market Program. There's the URL, theblackstockmarketprogram.com. It's right in the Black Business School. The first month is just $1. So you can give it a try if you want to learn about investing and learn how investing works. I highly recommend everybody and their children all learn how to invest because that is going to be the key to success. That's always been the key to wealth. That's always been the way to get ahead. So I hope that you'll listen to me when I tell you that I am a financial scientist. I'm not just a stockbroker. I'm not just a guy who bought a couple stocks or made a little money. I'm a guy who spent 25 years teaching college students this stuff at a very, very high level. And I can just tell you that stock market investing is one of the strongest keys to wealth that there is. So if the majority of our people are invested in stocks and real estate and owning businesses, then you're going to see this wealth thing kind of flip on its head. This is real reparations, not reparations, real reparations, meaning that this is real progress that we're actually going to be able to make without waiting for a politician to get off their butt and do something for Black people. Will the second wave be worse than the first? Asked Scorpion. I don't think it will be because I think that we know how to manage this virus. We know what to do. The death rate is not very high. I look at data and facts. I don't look at spin. I don't give a damn what somebody said on CNN or MSNBC or Fox. I want to go find out what's really going on. And I looked up in my own state, for example, in Illinois, there's a big division right now over, should we shut down sports and shut down businesses? They're like, no, shut everything down. And the business owners are like, well, how are we supposed to eat? I'm going bankrupt. What are we supposed to do? And so I looked at the data, and they were talking about the numbers going up and the number of cases. The number of cases are definitely going up. There's no question about that. But what's interesting is they showed in our county, on a given day who died and how old they were. I wanted to know this. I needed to know, is this something that's happening across the board, or is this something that's mostly, pounding away at the old folks' homes and the nursing homes? In which case we need to get the vaccine to those people immediately, right? Well, I saw the list and I'm seeing, okay, Myrtle Smith, age 80, John Wilson, 75 years old, Teresa Wilson, 100 years old. And then out of about 20 names I saw, I'm just giving you all the truth here. This is not spin. This is what I saw, because I wouldn't put my family in danger over something that was truly, truly affecting everyone. I probably, out of 20 people, saw 3 people who were 50 or 40. I saw 0 30-year-olds, 0 20-year-olds, 0 teenagers, 0 children. I saw one lady that was in her 40s. A man that was in his 50s, or maybe 2 men, maybe a man in his 40s and a man in his 50s, one woman in her 40s, and that's all I remember. Everybody else was 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years old. So you can take that information for what you want, but what I'm going to say is that is that the second wave will be handled. It's going to be completely managed, but it does mean you have to be careful. You don't want to be out here acting a dang fool and putting yourself in harm's way, right? But it's going to be managed, not just because it's affecting. We know who it's affecting the most and who needs to get the vaccine first, but also we know that vaccines are on the way. We also know that managing that thing is already well underway. I remember a couple of weeks ago when all those Republicans, I paid attention to data. I watched when all those Republicans were getting it, and everybody was saying, "Ha ha, we told you so. You're having these rallies and you're not wearing your mask." I said, "Okay, yeah, that's silly. They're stupid, right? That's what they're defying things, and they're not very smart." I said, "Now let's see how many of them die, and I know I'm going to know about it. I know I'm going to hear about it because." When one of them dies, they're going to put it on the front page of every newspaper in America because that's kind of the world we live in right now. We live in a chaotic, crazy world. Well, did you all see? Give me a yes or no. Yes or no. Did you all see any major headlines of any major Republicans meeting their demise? I mean, Trump's number one. He's at the top of the list, right? Did he go down? Chris Christie. He's pretty big. He's a big boy. He looks like the human beatbox, a white version of that. Did he go down? Because he probably got about 35, 40 pre-existing conditions. Did who else went down? Yeah, we remember Herman Cain, right? Herman Cain was Herman Cain, made a mistake, right? He didn't protect himself. But the interesting thing about Herman Cain is that he was a 74-year-old cancer survivor. Now, let me tell you about cancer. I have people in my family who survived cancer. One thing about cancer treatment is that it destroys your immune system. So if you survive cancer, you certainly shouldn't expose yourself to any germs because all those germs could take you out. So Herman wasn't smart, right? No disrespect to the dead, but Herman wasn't smart. So my point is in all this is to say, look, you can be as mad as you want. I see Deanna's pissed. She's livid. She's mad at me. I get it. Some people get mad at facts when the facts don't confirm their feelings. And I get that. I see that. But I'm not really here for people like Deanna. I'm really here for the people that want information, that use logic, that actually want to say, okay, how do I keep my family safe? And how do I make sure my family's good? And also, most importantly, how do I make sure that my people are good, no matter which white guy they put in the White House, right? The White House is going to have a white guy in it, period. And maybe they'll have a black sidekick or something like that. But for the most part, we're not going into the White House. But I really am concerned about what's happening in your house. Okay, so hopefully I'm gonna put you right there, Deanna. You are on the front page because I want everybody to see the kinds of messages I get all day long, and the messages I've learned to really ignore. But I really want everybody to see that because we can see how contentious and how emotional the election's gotten. So, but what I really want you guys to do is move past the emotion and focus on the financial possibilities of your family. Focus on what is and what is not. Focus on how you can be successful. Focus on how you can build your wealth. And most importantly, focus on how you can build your community. Because I can just tell you, when I look at our community in terms of what we need with wealth and what we need with reparations, I don't see solutions coming from the politicians. I don't see any solutions coming. All these politicians we fighting over, and I don't want nothing to do with you no more because you're a bad person, whatever. These people are doing nothing for Black people. I don't know. Give me a yes or no in the chat. Yes or no. Yes or no. Do you think that the solutions for Black people are going to come from the Democrat or Republican parties? Give me a yes or no. Yes, if you think that they're going to give us solutions. Give me a no if you think that they're not. I'm on the nots. But if you're on the yeses, if you're one of the people that thinks that Joe Biden is the answer to your prayers, or Donald Trump is your white baby Jesus, then by all means, go do that. Put your MAGA hat on, go to the rally, don't wear your mask, and let's see what happens. And then I'll be sitting back in the cut, watching the data. Did you survive? How did it go? Did that work out for you? Right? Because I'll tell you, I'm 49 years old. I'm not 29, right? But I'm not 69, but I'm not 29. And at 49 years old, I've been watching us show up and vote like crazy at every single election. I have seen us get into fights over politicians since back in the 70s. That's how far back I can remember people fighting over Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan, then fighting over George Bush and Bill Clinton, and then fighting over George Bush and whoever he ran against. That's Al Gore, right? I saw them fighting over George Bush and whoever the next guy was. I can't even remember all the people that ran in these different. I always forget the losers. And I'll tell you, every time there were Black people who were on the front lines of emotionality, but we're never on the front lines when it comes to getting results. They were always dealing with politicians who will fight like heck. I'm gonna say heck because I'm trying not to cuss. I'm trying my best to get better. They will fight like heck to get you voting rights, to make sure you can show up to the polls and put them in power. But they always forgot to fight for you when you ask for reparations. You'll tell me my ancestors died for me to vote, but you won't tell me my ancestors died for me to get reparations. My ancestors also died because you owe me money. Just give me the money. Just give me the money. I can protect myself from viruses and things like that. I know how to keep my immune system strong. I know how to eat my vegetables and take my vitamins and exercise. I'm not going to go out here and get caught up in the Lizzo health program and get all fat and chunky. I lost weight so I can stay healthy and strong so that if a virus comes my way, I will be able to fight it off. Your body is naturally supposed to be able to fight these things off. Right. And then if you come talk to me about all the Black people who've been affected by some of this stuff, so many Black people have died. So many Black people have died. I know they tell us that. Right. That's a good trigger for us. Well, a lot more Black people have died from a lot of other things. There are 10 things I can name for you that have killed far more Black people than this thing did. Right. But the reason that you're focused on this and you've ignored all these other things that were killing Black people is because you, unfortunately, have been affected by the media like everybody else. I am marrying a woman who is an expert on the subconscious mind. She is a full professor, not an associate, not an adjunct professor, not an assistant professor, not an associate professor. She is a full professor of social work with an expertise in the subconscious mind. She's also very metaphysical, by the way, if that's of interest to you. And one thing that we are constantly fascinated about, and we have little nerdy conversations about it when we're sitting there, that's our pillow talk, is we sit there and talk about smart stuff and try to make each other smarter. And she says, my God, boys, what they're doing in media to mind control people is absolutely off the chain. It is off the charts. And the worst part about it is that a lot of people are falling for it. So what am I doing? Well, you know what? I'm shooting my little pistol at the AK-47 or at the nuclear bomb. They got the nuclear bomb of mind control that they're dropping every week. I got my little pistol. I'm like, ping, ping, ping. I'm trying to shoot back for those who want to listen. And those who don't want to listen should probably not be here, because this is only going to frustrate you. So let me break it down. Let me give you a quick summary. Before I go, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button, share and subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. Also, all through the week, every single day, I give constant updates on the stock market. Make sure you subscribe at the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. Text the word BOYCE to 31996, and I will send you notifications via text as well. Text BOYCE to 31996. And if you have children, you want to educate them on wealth, we actually have financial workbooks that we created with Black experts. You can take a look at financialworkbooks.com. It's right there on the screen. That's financialworkbooks.com. So to summarize the stock market for this week, here's what you got. You got chaos on the horizon. It's going to be messy, especially on election night. After that's over, when there's no certainty about who the president is, uncertainty tends to drop market prices. So you better buckle in and get ready. I personally see this as a buying opportunity. So I'm going to be buying things. I'm going to be like acquiring stuff. Like I'm going to be up in there like Nino Brown or something, like Pablo Escobar, just gobbling up, Pac-Man gobbling stocks up because I want to own shares. I want to own property. Somebody y'all asked about Bitcoin. I read some articles about Bitcoin to kind of refresh myself on what's going on in that space. I am a bigger believer in Bitcoin than I actually was before. I've always been a believer in Bitcoin. Now I'm an extra big believer in Bitcoin because I believe that this economic uncertainty is going to be, these are one of those types of times where things like Bitcoin actually take off and do really well because the world is, people are always going to be afraid of each other. There are some things about this economy that are never going to go away. Like, for example, all those billionaires and millionaires that have left New York, like literally the real estate values in New York are dropping because people are like, you know what, New York it's crowded, it's a little bit stinky. It's a beautiful place, it's fun, it's exciting, but it's also a little stinky and a little crowded and germy and everything else. I'm getting out of here. So these rich people are flying, these billionaires and millionaires are flying off to the Hamptons. They're going up to Aspen. They're going to their second home in Vail. And that's where they're staying. Like so some of these things are changing for good. Companies that were spending insane amounts of money to have office space in crowded places like Silicon Valley, they gone. They're like, no, we're not paying this money anymore. Everybody work from home, or we're going to relocate our office to Nashville or something where you can go and literally spend the amount of money that would cost you to buy a house in New York. You can go buy you 2 mansions in Nashville, and we're going to go live it out like that because the world has become digital. So a lot of these digital companies are going to do extremely well long term, not just short term. Apple is a company I like. because Apple got hit because the iPhone sales had dropped. But a lot of people believe that people are just saving money to buy the next iPhone. And I remember that. I bought a new iPhone. Let me just tell you how dumb I am. I bought a new iPhone, and I didn't realize until after I bought the damn thing that they got an iPhone 12 coming out, that they got a new one coming out with 5G. And I said, man, I should have saved my money. What's wrong with me? So long story short, what I suggest you take a look at is, well, I'm not telling you, this is not investment advice. Let me back that up. I'm going to go buy more Apple. So if you want a stock pick, there's one. There you go. There's a stock pick that that I'm using, and you can feel free to copy if you want to. All right. So last thing I'll give you guys, if you want, we actually did a Black Stock Market weekend where I broke down my 11-step methodology for picking stocks. It's really, really good. And what we did was we saved that content. Everybody loved it. It had 96% approval rate. 96% of the students said they would love to recommend it to a friend. They loved the price. They thought it was great. So if you'd like to actually buy that, you can get that content at theblackstockmarketweekend.com, THE, theblackstockmarketweekend.com. Feel free to take a look at that or anything else we have in the Black Business School. We actually have a real estate wholesaling masterclass coming up. So if you go to the website, you can talk to one of our specialists. They can tell you about the real estate wholesaling masterclass. We have a great layout for anything that you need. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to directly compete and replace the college university when it comes to educating Black people on wealth. Because two things: one, we educate on Powernomics related principles. We don't just teach the standard stuff. And number two, we're much, much cheaper and we're fully digital. So it's very easy to access everything that you need. So we want to actually replace this. We believe Black people should have our own universities, our own businesses, our own everything. So we are all Black everything. That's just what we are. That's what we believe. That's just what we do. So feel free to go to theblackstockmarketweekend.com if you'd like to. All right, guys, I'm out of here. If you could, please hit that thumbs up button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button. I will hit you up about the election coverage on Tuesday. It's going to be really good. We're going to have a lot of fun. And I will see you guys later. Alicia just came downstairs because it's time for us to go run. So let me go out of here and not get fat no more. Talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye-bye.